Zoe Watson. I'm co-founder and director at 365 Tribe. We help people make the most out of Microsoft 365 and associated technologies. I have a varied background, but primarily focused on sales and marketing.
What does it take for a business to stay truly future ready in today's very tech-driven environment?
So I think that being future ready isn't just about chasing every new tool. It's more about building the capability behind that. So and not just technology. So organizations that thrive are the ones that invest in the people, the mindset, the adaptability of those people. And we feel at 365 Tribe that tech will always change. We've seen that, since day one when we launched 7 years ago. And in our experience prior to that, we were helping people with Office 365. We're now helping people with Power Platform, still Microsoft 365, but also a large portion of that is AI focused. So it will change, but we feel that adoption plays a key part in that journey, and people really need to understand how to use those tools and make the most out of them to be future ready. So I think, investing in those people, making sure that they have access to platforms like that they feel supported and helped along the way is a key part of that journey.
What is your boldest prediction for the future of your industry?
So we feel that adoption will become more valuable than actual implementation as part of that. So in the past, success was very much measured around things like go live dates. And in the future, I believe it will be measured by behavioural change, usability, maturity and business outcomes. So with AI and Copilot, accelerating that shift because simply turning it on won't deliver value. So we really feel that organisations will win by making sure that they adopt and measure that adoption as part of a long-term capability.
What trends or shifts in the tech services space do you think leaders are still underestimating?
So I think leaders are underestimating how quickly employee expectations are changing. People expect learning to be short, relevant, bite-sized, and also on demand, not day-long workshops and things like that we typically used to see in the past. So I think making sure that they give better support to their users is a key element that many leaders do underestimate. It's all about sort of driving forward, and often you need to capture that human side as part of that journey so that people can really relate to that change in the business.
365 Tribe is known for its highly engaging adoption model. What's the secret to turning Microsoft training into something that employees actually really want to participate in?
Absolutely, and I think at 365 Tribe, it's probably that word training. So we stopped treating it like training at 365 Tribe. We design what we would call experiences. Not just sessions. We meet people where they are. We focus on the tools that they need for the job or what they need help with today. And make the learning really relevant to their roles and what they're doing, but also in formats that work for different learning styles. So where someone might want on-demand bite-sized videos, someone else needs more hand-holding in a one-to-one session, or someone else might want group workshops based on various teams and departments. But it's really about the relevance to their roles and then the recognition that training brings. So certainly through our champions programs, we achieve that by creating that sense of community and identifying use cases that are really relevant to the people that are involved in them.
How does 365 Tribe differentiate itself in driving Microsoft adoption compared to a traditional training process?
So we're really fortunate to have lots of experience in this. My background prior to 365 Tribe was sort of 15 years spent at a traditional training company, so which was perfect at the time. But as we know, these things evolve. So one of the things that led me to form Tribe was noticing that shift in how people learnt and what people wanted. So 365 Tribe is in comparison to traditional training, which is very much knowledge transfer. We do find that through our programs and communities, rather than have our trainers just sort of talk at people and show them how to complete exercises, we really do engage in them and empower those champions in those communities. And instead of just measuring things like attendance and feedback forms, we measure engagement, we measure confidence, usage, maturity, and that shift has sort of changed everything in terms of how we deliver the programs.
What role does gamification and community engagement play in your adoption programs?
So it creates momentum through our digital champion communities. It's a key player as part of the deliverables. So you know, we're in these programs daily, seeing champions' achievements and seeing the competition that comes from collecting their next badge and moving up their leaderboards. So it's really a key player from that regard. But I think it also builds trust in that community. So users being able to see some of the accreditations and achievements that champions have got gives them that confidence to be able to then go to them for questions and support. And they feel part of something that's much bigger. So part of a full adoption journey that then in turn really impacts that organisation and makes it sustainable.
Where do you see organizations investing efforts in the wrong places when trying to drive adoption and usage in Microsoft?
So I think typically they overinvest in the features and underinvest in the people to some regards. So lots of rollouts of apps focus on, you know, this is a new app, or we're rolling out this, or we're focusing on this product, as opposed to why is that going to matter to your user base? How's it going to help them work smarter? How's it going to help them collaborate better, or work in a more secure way? So and pushing so many apps that people can create that feeling of overwhelm amongst users. So one of the ways that we get through that when rolling out our adoption programs is we work with what we call key business scenario outcomes. So we'll focus on key messaging for users that aligns to the what's in it for me. Why is that going to benefit me and my role? And I think that's what organisations really need to do more of, is invest in that people side of learning.
What strategies have proven most effective for creating a culture of continuous learning?
So we found that especially in this day and age when people are busy, so one of the key elements, and again this sort of moves away from that traditional approach training of, you know, attending a one-day event or something like that, and often, you know, a couple of weeks later you're back at your desk and you may have forgotten what you've learnt about. So to us, what was really important was to create an environment that's it's available 24/7. It works for all sort of shift patterns, flexi time. It's modern. It's got numerous different learning styles incorporated into that platform, and giving them that option of going in at a time that suits them really helps to sustain that journey. But also celebrating successes along the way. So that could be, you know, we joked earlier about our leaderboard and being top of the table and things like that, but actually it could just be little wins and progress. Someone helped a colleague with this, someone discovered a new tip or feature that actually saved them 10 minutes a day in their time. All of that creates the need for people to want to go back and learn more and do more, and understand how to really embed that change as part of their working patterns.
How do you see AI and Copilot features influencing user adoption and engagement strategies over the next few years?
So I think it's going to massively increase the need for adoption support, is probably the key element. It's going to change how people work, how they think, how they communicate. So as part of that, it's that whole behavioural change piece. It's not just another new tool. Yes, you can get some quick wins out of it, but actually successful organisations really need to focus on that whole responsible usage piece, analysing actually how it is changing the way that people are working as well, and then embedding that, measuring those outcomes from that. You know, what productivity increases have they seen, what creativity increases they've seen, what time saving have they seen, but then what's the impact of that time saving? And I think that's key. So many features you can say that's going to save time, but then it's that whole understanding of, well, actually, what are we going to do with that time? How is that going to make us better as an organization, or how is that going to help our workforce moving forward?
As the founder of 365 Tribe, how did your sales and marketing background shape the way that you built the company and positioned your adoption programs differently from others in the market?
It has to be the people side. So one of the things, or probably one of the reasons I went into sales, or fell into sales, should I say, was my love of talking and my love of talking to people. That evolved through marketing, naturally, as sales and marketing often can. And so when we were doing Tribe, one of the things that we always say when we're talking to customers or potential customers is Tribe is more about technology. It's the people and technology together, and that's what really brings success. So with Tribe, when we were designing our program, first of all, and thinking about ways that we could sort of capture the hearts and minds of users, I think a lot of that sort of passion is injected into what we do. So whether that's, feedback from champions communities, or clients come to us with a problem they need help with, it's being able to problem solve and really help them move forward. And it's the wins that we get from that is probably my sales driven background of seeing a very happy customer with a smile on their face makes it all really worthwhile and valuable to us as a company. And I think that's probably what really sets us apart.
Many people underestimate how many hats a small business owner wears. Which of those roles has most influenced the way that you approach user adoption and customer engagement today?
So one of the roles I'm constantly focused on as part of being a co-founder of Tribe is actually the product direction, and again learning from the customers. And I think that's really helped to shape adoption, because we're able to apply that product knowledge to the deliveries of our programs, and really listen to what the clients are wanting as part of that delivery, and then apply that. So each of the programs that we deliver is quite unique. So I think it's that probably the good old sales approach of being able to listen and really listen to the customers and take those findings and then apply that back into our programs to succeed in adoption for our customers.
What training approaches actually resonate with users who may not feel naturally confident with technology?
We have this all the time. So we can work with more experienced users, or users that are very entry level, and people that are very change resistant to new technology as well. So in our approach, it's very much that hand-holding experience. So making sure that they are well communicated to, so they understand what's happening as part of that process, why that's happening, what it's going to do in terms of affecting them, and any future sort of opportunity that may come as part of that. So I think communication is key from that regard, but then ensuring that they're embedded into an environment where they feel supported. So somewhere that they can go and ask questions, somewhere that they can jump on a one-to-one call if they need that additional bit of support, but also then access to a variety of different learning tools that will really give them a choice as to how they move forward as part of that role.
Gamification is a big part of your approach. Why do you believe it works so well, especially for users who typically disengage from that more traditional training approach we discussed?
I think it's fun. So, one of the things that we really wanted to be it was make learning fun, especially make learning technology fun. So many users are, oh, technology, I just want to do my job, or what have you. So the gamified elements that we introduce into the program really make it just friendly and competitive. But at the same time, not everybody is into gamification, so you've got to have options outside of that that will also enable us to sort of monitor and measure success, and so on. But yeah, I think it keeps it light, keeps it fun, keeps people motivated, and collecting those badges, and what does my next badge look like? Really sort of spurs people on as part of that journey.
Community seems to be, of course, a central part of 365 Tribes program. What have you learned about the power of community in driving substantial behavior change?
So exactly. So within the champions communities, having combinations of different roles. So that could be the champions within there, or it could be 365 tribe experts that are in there answering questions and things like that. It is creating that sort of safe and supportive community environment where people can go ask questions, get in touch, arrange one-to-ones if they want to, and just having the community available sort of normalizes the learning together so that people can all be on the same pathway. One of the things we always incorporate a story around the tortoise and the hare as part of our, I don't know if anyone remembers this from when you were little,
I
but
certainly do.
everything is very much about it being at your own pace, and creating, your own learning journey. So we might be rolling out content and updates and everything else, but this experience is really, really unique to you as an individual and how you're going to navigate that pathway supported by a community. And I think when we do talk to champions and interview champions, community is one of the key things that they say they love about the program.
What does a healthy digital culture look like to you, and how can leaders actively cultivate it?
So I think a healthy digital culture is where technology really enables people, so it doesn't overwhelm them. It's where they've got the opportunity to really understand where learning's going, that they're enabled to be able to, or empowered to be able to give feedback, and that they can also be inquisitive about new technologies coming forward. So yeah, just making sure that people do feel that this isn't something that's just, another app or another rollout that we're doing from the IT department. It's actually, yes, we can embrace this technology, and we can use it to actually improve our day-to-day working patterns, not just saving time, but actually improving, some working process, and being able to collaborate with our colleagues better.
How can leaders better support their teams during tech rollouts beyond simply communicating the change?
So I think they need to listen. And a key part of that is actually learning alongside their teams. So
Mm.
we deliver a lot of sort of senior leader and executive workshops at 365 Tribe, and we love actually when people within those roles discover new technology, because often they can be the last to hear about it. We're always looking for that support from leaderships to actually really help their teams embrace the new initiative. So not just through communications, but also getting them to showcase perhaps some of the findings as well as part of that. So I always find that once they discover some hidden gems, that cascade of knowledge throughout their user base offers that confidence and support going forward. So I would say, yeah, definitely listening, learning, but also embracing it themselves.
What's something about leading in tech that nobody tells you?
So for me, I think a lot of it is emotional work. So especially in tech, leaders often feel that people will change because something makes sense, whereas actually they change because they feel safe, they feel supported, and they feel motivated to be able to do so.
What advice would you give to organizations that have invested in Microsoft but are really struggling to realize the full potential of it?
Absolutely. I think first of all they need to just pause and actually reflect on what their user base are doing. So typically as part of a good adoption story, we say, build that champions community, create that community of people that are going to help you drive this forward, and they're going to be the ones that are going to then engage with the user communities as well. So it's not all also top heavy. You've got that nice cascade of knowledge throughout the organization. But I think also really invest in that engagement, and invest in time for people to be able to digest this learning. So it's all very well giving people access to the tools to be able to learn about, but actually knowing that they're supported and that they've got the time to be able to invest in that is actually quite key. You can have the best program in the world, but if people feel that they can't participate in it, you're never going to achieve successful adoption.